Hi, welcome to Surviving Motherhood. So, I have to confess, I came this close this morning to strangling my dog. I had let her out. She's got a really long, a run that goes basically from our house all the way to the back of the backyard, and she likes to get in her chain and just run all around it, which is great. But I had put her outside, and then I had to take Josh to the high school for football practice, and then I got home. So she had been out maybe for 10 minutes. When I walked into the house, she was outside barking. Not just barking, but like yelping for help. So I knew what that means. She got tangled. She does that often. She goes and runs around in little bushes and things and gets all tangled. So I slipped some shoes back on, went out to help her out, and as I'm walking out there, I'm talking to her, Mindy, did you get tangled up again? And said, I'll come and I'll rescue you. So as soon as I get out there, she starts running around even more and getting more tangled. And I'm trying to get her to calm down and slowly unwind. But I just got one thing undone, and then she runs around and she gets tangled up in another thing. And I was getting so frustrated. I'm like, dog, would you just be still? Let's work together and get you out of this mess. Eventually, we did get her all untangled, and then she looked at me, and I said, yes, you can run now, and she took off up to the house. But in the midst of that, really it was more at the end of that, as I was looking back on what we had just been through, God kind of gave me a picture about me. And I have a feeling it might be a picture for you too. Because at the beginning, Mindy yelped. She was crying out. She knew she was stuck and she needed help. She couldn't figure out on her own how to get out of that little tangled mess. And isn't that like us sometimes? When we realize how broken we are, how tangled up in our own little mess we are, and we cry out to God for help. It's all we can do. God, help me. But then, as I went out to help her, she was running around and doing her own thing and not paying attention to me. And that was just making the mess bigger. And I had to think, how many times do I call out to God for help? Because I know I can't fix it on my own. But then I continue to run around and just make my mess bigger. When God is there, willing to help, just waiting for me to be still and let Him guide me, how many times do I make my own mess bigger? So I have to ask you, because I felt God put this in my heart for me, and I pray that He'll speak to you too. Have you been calling out to God? Have you been asking Him to help you in your circumstance? And now that He's here, and He's wanting to help you, and He's willing to help you, are you running around and making your mess even bigger? When all He wants you to do is be still and listen to Him and follow His lead. It's pretty easy for us to make our messes bigger, when all we should be doing is listening to our Father. So that's what I've got for you today. I pray God will speak to your heart through it. And you have a wonderful, Jesus-full, beautiful day as you sit and you listen to your Father.